In this second installment on edit mode, we're going to be covering 4 new tools. One of them is knife. We'll also be doing a new edge and face, rip, and subdivide. So those are the 4 that we're going to focus on. Let's start out by deleting this object in the center using X, and then I'm going to add, so Shift A, I'm going to add a cone. So we've got a cone, and I'm going to go into edit mode by hitting Tab. And I want this to be setting on the axis, so I'm going to move it up. So GZ 1 unit, and that will make it so it sits right on the plane. So the first one we're going to use is the knife tool. And the way the knife tool works is in edit mode, uh, you'll hit K, and notice that here's our knife, and I can literally just drag across. So drag, and then hit enter, and it will finalize that cut. And then I could do the same thing. So if I use my K tool here, and notice it'll snap onto that cut I already made. So I could continue cutting. So cut. Oops, I just did something bad there. So I'm gonna hit escape. We'll start that again. So K, and then I'll hit enter. And then I'm going to finish it off by connecting those two together. So K, I'll drag that down until we snap onto that and hit enter. And so I have cut off part of this shape, and I could literally delete objects out of this if I wanted to. So I think I'll do that. But in order to do that, now that I've got this cut here, I'm actually going to rip open this shape. So let me rip open this shape by changing to edge selection mode. And the rip tool is actually the V key. So if I hit V, you'll see that I just ripped this open. Okay. And I'm going to adjust this until I get it where I want it to be. And now I've got this big gap in the shape, and I don't want that there. So I'm going to add new faces into this by selecting these edges here. I'm going to hit the F key. That will add a new face. And I could do the same thing here, and I could do the same thing here. Okay. And so I've just changed the way this cone looks slightly. Not disastrously, but ever so slightly. I also want to have some extra edges to work with. And so what I'm going to do is use the circle select tool. So first I'm going to deselect everything with Alt A. I'm going to select all of these edges along the top using the circle tool. Okay, circle select. And now what I can do is subdivide these. So to subdivide, I'm going to right click and click on subdivide, and I can decide, notice that it mirrors kind of this, or it matches this profile here because it's just dividing all of these in half. But I want to divide it into more than just halves. So I'm going to open up the panel that shows up down here, and I'm going to increase how many times it subdivides. So now I've altered the shapes significantly using the knife tool. I added this little feature in here by ripping things open. And I can actually repeat that process now. So I'm going to grab this, 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 and this. And I'm going to rip. And you'll notice that it ripped it open, and it didn't quite do it the way I wanted to. I actually wanted them all to kind of work in the same way. So notice that bottom one didn't rip the same as the others. And so what I'll need to do is adjust that position. So I'm going to select just that bottom one, move it back into position where it used to be, and then I'll grab the other face right there and move it out. And so now I've got this kind of weird looking shape. And I'm kind of going for like the weird abstract planter concept here. Okay, so now I have these openings going up. I could rejoin these together the same way I did before. So I could, if I wanted to, I could select those opposing faces. Uh, well, actually, I'd need to do this and this, this, this. And notice I'm leaving a hole this time intentionally. Not that I should, but I'm going to. Okay. And then you could do whatever you wanted to with that gap that's there. You could fill it in. You could select around it and extrude. You could do whatever you wanted to. But those are the four tools. So knife cut, new edge or face using the F key, and then rip, which is the V key, and subdivide, which is easiest to access using the right click of the mouse.